Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. And today is a very special day for us because we are making a bridge with United States. We are online on Kardec Radio as well. I want to say thank you for the opportunity given to us and straight this relationship between Ireland and United States. So it's a pleasure to be here. I hope you enjoy. Usually we do have a Spiritist Society of Ireland, usually on Tuesdays and Wednesday. We do have a special guest. But today, because this is a very important day, we do have two workers from Spiritist Society of Ireland. It's myself, Rodrigo, and Vanderlei, and we want to start this conversation with the principal thoughts, principal questions you may have. So keep this in your mind. If you have any question to us, well, what is Spiritism? What's the relation to what we want to achieve? What's the meaning for that? So please tell us, because we will try. We are not here to teach anybody. We are not in that kind of position, but we can give what the doctrine says to us. But if we don't know the answer, we will be very honest with you. We say we don't know the answer, but we will do our homework and we'll come back to you with a reply. Okay? And while you prepare your questions, I'd like to invite everyone to start with a prayer. So if you want, you can close your eyes. It's not required, but what is required here is open up your heart. Make the connection with superior spirits of our mentors, asking them to enlighten us, to enlighten the world, giving to everyone what we need in order to overcome all the barriers we need to face on our day-to-day, the challenges, the difficulties, learning from our mistakes, and try to be kind and practice our solidarity among our brothers and sisters. Once again, thank you for the mentors of the Kardec Radio for this opportunity. Thank you for the mentors of Ireland for allowing us to be here and somehow speak in name of the Spiritist movement in Ireland. Thank you very much. Okay, so guys, and we do have here the Three Musketeers. Okay, so Rodrigo and Vanderlei.
Hi guys.
So welcome, guys. So we will do this kind of interaction here. We think it's gonna work. And the first question I will ask to both of you, Vanderlei and Rodrigo, and also I want to ask to you who are listeners, how do you know Spiritism? How these teachings came up to you?
Rodrigo?
First, thank you everyone for watching us today. Thanks for the Kardec Radio for the first time here with us. Thank you very much. You guys in USA are more than welcome to be here with us. And of course, our dear friends here in Ireland as well. So the first time that I met the Spiritism, I was in Brazil yet. It was 10 years ago. around 10 years ago. I was with 25 years, roughly 25 years, and then I start making some questions that I couldn't find in the religion that I was following at that time. And these questions was getting more and more harder to find the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I tried many other religions before. I was trying to find one for myself to follow, and I'm so pleased that I could find Spiritism to be the one I was following. That I can learn, that I can learn how to deal with others, how to deal with myself. So I'm very glad to try to be spiritist since 10 years ago.
Yeah. And you, Vanderlei, how Spiritism catch you?
I met Spiritism like, I don't know, maybe 15, 17 years ago when I was a teenager back in Brazil. But it was something different from my Catholic background, as most of us we have back in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, was too complicated, and it gave me too much responsibilities. And yes,
Huh?
so I didn't want to take this kind of things in my hand. I said, okay, in Catholicism, I know there is a evil, there is a big man there with white beard. He is
Yeah.
my papa, so whatever happens is their fault, is his fault or his fault. So I
Okay.
was safe. But then when I came to Dublin, as most of us as a students, life starts to go in a different direction. Then I was working as a bartender for more than 10 years of my life. And I felt a necessity to go for a different way. Then Stephen remembers Rodrigo was arriving at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know, 6, 7, I don't remember how many years ago here in Dublin. And I came and I started to see the speeches. And I remember every speech I used to go, I used to cry. I remember Dogi, our great friend, giving speeches.
Yeah.
I used to cry in his speeches and everything. Then I started to realize that that was so good to me. Then I had the obligation, even like with all the mistakes and all the personal issues that we all carry, that I wanted to work in Spiritism. And luckily, here in Dublin, maybe because there is not many workers, I was some kind of a valuable work. Back in Brazil, maybe I wouldn't be, but here it's okay. But yes, it was like this. Maybe because of the pain which I was suffering at that time, Spiritism was the only way that I could try to bring life into my own hands, or at
Yeah.
least try.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I agree. Well, for me, it was not different. Like I came to the Spiritism. Uh, for many reasons. I think it was a mix between what Rodrigo and Wanderlei have is questions, is uh, people surrounding me. So, and also my mom was a spiritist, so uh, she taught me how to frequent the spirit center and where to go. So I always had some this kind of guidance, but we are we are everywhere. But I would say among us three here, we came to the Spiritism not for love. I think it was because of we were in trouble and we need to find some answers. Yeah,
Big trouble.
yeah. It's not like Suzanne here. Suzanne Ferreira, she's saying, I frequented the Spiritists from the belly of of my mother. Oh, well, yes, Suzanne.
good.
It is. So lucky you, lucky you. But what is interesting here is dealing with the Spiritism, at the first moment, I would say, when you come to the Spirit Center, the first thing you have is a kind of relief because they welcome you, they help you, you have your you listen a speech, or sometimes you need to go to a healing, so you are kind of comforted. But then it's the I say is the crucial part, because you learn that you are responsible for your own actions. And when you face this, is the moment in either you leave spiritual or you stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you want to say
Yeah.
something about that?
No, it's like once we used to give speeches when the Spirit Center was open. People they always used to come to us, not only to the speakers, but to everyone, to the workers, to Rodrigo, to Neide, to Roberto, the girls who work in the library, and they used to come to us and they start to say their problems which they have. And we try to be, at least myself, I try to be nice, but at the same time, in the end of the conversation, I try to bring in a really nice way, say, look, yes, everything's wrong, but I'm sorry. It's more or less your fault. So let's try to work together.
Yeah.
And some people, I mean, of course, I'm not saying that we have to be rude, because as basically Jimenez says, Spiritism does not corrupt conscience. So we cannot force anyone to believe in what we believe. But at the same time, of course, if a person comes to us in a really difficult situation, we cannot go to them and say, look, I'm sorry, your life is really bad. It's your fault. Maybe you killed whatever. No, it's not. That's not what I'm talking about. But try to bring to the person, maybe not in that day, in the following meetings, that let's rethink about your own actions. And some people, they accept that and they become workers of the Spirit Center.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people like us in the past, like when I've been told 10 years, 15 years ago, that I should rethink about my own actions. I told to the guy in the Spirit Center, Perseverança, maybe Stephen knows, in São Paulo. I told, thank you very much for explanation. Everything's quite beautiful, but I have to go because I still believe in that's not my fault. I'm the victim here. And I left for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
So once we have to tell the person, look, let's rethink about our own ways. And some people, they accept and they start to change little by little, or they wanted to change. Some people, they don't want, or they are not ready. What can we say? You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's a depends how we do see it. I have seen a lot of people coming first time into the Spiritism, stay for a while, then they left, and few years later they come back again. I just forgot to say to everyone, like, Rodrigo is the coordinator of the healing session in SSI, and Vanderlei, along with me, we are speakers, so we do give speech every Sunday. So that's our background here.
Yeah.
But Rodrigo, are you responsible for your actions, or do you think
I try my best.
someone guiding you?
I try my best, but I cannot guarantee it.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because when I started in Brazil, going to the Spiritist Center, I thought it's so hard to be Spiritist.
Yeah.
It's so hard because you need to read a lot. You need to learn every single detail. But when I came to Ireland in 2012, I think I started going to the Spirit Center in the beginning of 2013. And then I will see how simple was today our house or home there. A simple healing, a lovely speech. After that, a coffee, just gather with friends, make new friends, and or I think you can talk for all the three of us here, make some family, And then I said, no, but doesn't matter if I'm gonna read all the books that Chico Xavier wrote, gave to us. If I'm gonna read everything, I need to learn what Jesus said: love one another. I'm trying this since I become Spiritist. I'm not even close 10% of to read it, but only this 10% that I read is making a huge difference in my life.
Yeah,
this was for me and of course, and once you get more and more knowledge about spiritism, you start getting into it, and then you're gonna, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I love history. I like to read things, to see things about history. And when I see something, people talk about Jesus, how was his life at that time, how was the Jews, how was the life of Kardec, I'm so interested that I can watch so many speeches all night long, and I always try to absorb something. No.
Yeah. And this come across with Karine is saying, like, once we understand the laws of life, we can see things from a different perspective. Yeah, it is. It is, but I would say that the funny part is every book you read, every leaflet you read, every speech you listen in YouTube or online in Kardec Radio or many other speakers on YouTube, you learn something, and at the moment you can say, I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You cannot say, I don't know. I wasn't aware. No, you were aware. Remember that day, you raised that speech given by that person, and on the minute X, he said this. So it's kind of tricky, you know. It's kind of tricky because we need to understand this. I think that's the first point. But I would like to know how many of you guys who are listening us are abroad, and those who are abroad, how many of you weren't Spiritists and now are Spiritists, or at least going to a spirit center? Please put in the comments. Let's understand, because we will approach something differently here. And meanwhile, we'll keep going our discussion here.
But Stephen, your question now is quite interesting, because we are asking whoever is watching us where they are watching from, how is the Spiritist movement in their place, because now we are connected with America, and the Spiritism that we see in Ireland perhaps is different than the Spiritism that we see in America, as it is different that we see in Portugal, in Germany, and in Brazil. But once you take all the different, not ideas, but the different ways that we see Spiritism, because of our background, because of the culture of the place, one thing that we cannot run away from is the works of Kardec. That's why we always say, okay, I know that when I was in Portugal, Rodrigo, you guys know Rodolfo, but Rodrigo was there with Rodolfo for a while. I remember Rodolfo used to show me the book which they studied in that spirit center that he was in Braga, and it shows a lot of things about the Genesis, about the Spirit's book, and about the Medium's book, but there was no citation of Jesus at all. And he was explaining to me that part that he was in Portugal, that spirit center, for them, they try to avoid the word Jesus, the name of Jesus. They study Spiritism, all the work of Kardec. And to me and to Rodolfo, that was quite it's not only challenging, but it hurted myself a little bit personally, because from what I understand in Spiritism, that yes, Spiritism cannot live without Jesus, but Jesus can live without Spiritism. What I'm trying to say is, Spiritism with Kardec and the spirits came as a help for us to understand the workings of Jesus, as Rodrigo said, to love one another. Like if we could love one another, since Jesus said, maybe we didn't need Spirit's book. So we're still learning the basic things, and that's something that in different places where the Spiritist movement has its own personalities, that we always said that, okay, maybe you like more than scientific aspect, but we cannot run away from this aspect. I mean, the Jesus aspect, at least for me, the Spirit is the most beautiful aspect, because it touches the heart, of most of us.
Mhm.
Yeah, but just to say that different places they see Spiritism in a little bit different way, from other places. That's what was my point. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah. Just going back something apart, Rodrigo, look, this is funny here. Cassia Sally said,
Hmm.
that's a very interesting topic. I remember the first time my friend told me about Spiritist. My first thought was, do I need to read that much? No, thank you. I wasn't really. Back to these days, I can't see myself without all the beautiful things that I learned.
we
That's
share,
it.
we share the same feeling, Cassia, at the time. We share the
Welcome,
same feeling.
Hi,
welcome to our
Cassia.
world, Cassia. Yeah, it is so much challenging. And then we have we have people from Florida as well, so it's very good. It's very good. So LA with São Paulo, and keep going in our discussion here. It's interesting because one of the principles of Spiritism is they do have they do have triple triple aspect: religious, philosophy, and religious philosophy, and
Scientific.
sorry,
Scientific.
scientific. Yeah, just one second. People, it's saying there are some questions here. They're putting some. Sorry, guys. There's so many tools here. We do have people are putting questions everywhere. We are reaching a lot of people. A lot of people. So that's wonderful. And there is a question here, guys, from Carolina Correa. Which Spiritist book do you think was most inspirational and transformative for each of you? Wow.
Oh,
Oh. Ah.
I didn't see this coming.
Ah. Can I pass? It's well, Carolina. It's I can start. Well, I need to think. Okay, go. Vanderlei or Rodrigo? Who's gonna answer first?
Wanderlei first.
Okay, I guess there are two replies for the same question. If I take the books which touched my heart, which
Mhm.
really it's about Spiritism, but not in that doctrinal aspect, although in the book there is a lot of teachings, is Paulo Estevam, which is one of the five. They say the five classical books of Emmanuel Chico Xavier. This book for me is the most beautiful. This is the most beautiful book I ever read in my life. Uh, but because it brings a Paul of Tarsus, which we talk a lot here in our speeches, because it's so inspiring for most of us. But it brings a man which, to me, it looks like us. It's very similar to us in one aspect. He's a man who was full of defects. He was responsible. I don't remember exactly, but I don't think he killed anyone with his own hands. But he was responsible for deaths of a lot of Christians at the beginning, including Stephen, Santo Esteban. That's why the book Paul and Stephen.
Which is not
But,
me. Okay.
yeah, it's not Stephen, of course.
Yeah.
But it shows a man who had more downsides and vices than good points, shall we say. But it shows a man who with goodwill. And I believe most of us, we have goodwill, but sometimes we act with a lot of passion in our hearts. We don't think before saying something. We just act with our primary instincts. And that's what Paul did.
Yeah.
But in this book, you see a man who starts to develop himself throughout of pain, and he starts to asking himself, what am I doing? He starts to question himself.
You can see a kind of transformation from a caterpillar to butterfly.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That transformation wasn't something which took. That's why a lot of people they make a mistake once they think about Spiritism. That okay, I'm gonna go to the Spirit Center every Sunday. I'm gonna go on Tuesday to the studs. I'm gonna take the healing. Maybe gonna help the Spirit Center. Okay, 1 year later, I probably can go to Nosso Lar. I'm an angel. Took 30 years for Paul to realize, not to realize, but to accomplish his work. 30 years, taking stones in his head, being thrown into valleys, to mountains, to being floods.
Yeah.
He suffered quite a lot, know.
Travel by foot more than 12,000 miles.
You see, like he was a man that he, despite of being hit all the time, he kept going. And when I see Paul, I believe each one of us who go to the Spirit Center, we have to understand, okay, since we believe in reincarnation, if I've been doing the wrong things which I'm doing now for 10 reincarnations, how come can I change now just because I'm going to the Spirit Center? So, and this book brings this human aspect of us.
Yeah.
That's why it's a book which I love quite a lot. How about you guys?
Yeah. I don't know the name in English, but the first book that I read was Violetas na Janela.
Yeah.
Is a kind of romance, spirit romance that they used to call in Brazil. Was very touching that time. I think something that make me aware what is spiritism as well.
Yeah.
And I really loved that book. Really loved.
Yeah, even though there is a lot of controversy about this book, but I recognize that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who came to Spiritism through this
book. Yeah.
The book helped me a lot. It helped me a lot at that time. Even though I didn't have the knowledge that I have today, so that was the knowledge that I had at that time, and helped me.
Well, and for me, I think it was 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, great book.
It's saying that Emmanuel, who are the spirits who dictate the book to Chico Xavier, I'll do the automatic writing. And at the moment of the chapter, when he was with Jesus and he missed that opportunity, I felt his pain, I felt his pain, to be honest. And let's see, Rodrigo, the book is Violet on the Window. Is already available in English.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So for Vanessa, she's listening to us. Thank you, Vanessa. She was with us last Tuesday. So the book who touched her was the Boa Nova, Good News by Chico Xavier. It's a great book, especially that chapter when Peter was in the about the chapter about Peter. He tells a little bit of the story of Peter, so it's amazing.
That the one that once he receives the stone in his head?
No, it's a moment like in the moment like he needs to accept Jesus, like he described like I need to move forward. I have that mission. When he revealed his faith. And also we do have here some comments. Okay. Roberta Menegato, she's reading 2,000 years ago. So good choice, Roberta. And we do have here, let's say we are a little bit behind of the request. So Cassia said she started to learn about Kardec in Belém, Brazil. But I really started to be part of the movement when I moved to Recife, just before I went to Ireland. Now I'm carrying on my belief in Bristol. Yes, Cassia, I know you're a great worker, and
we miss you.
We miss you, Carl. Believe me, we miss you.
We do.
We have a comment from Illinois. Don, starting 2003 in Spiritist SSV, Virginia with Vanessa, first introduced during a trip to Brasilia for John of God. Went with a church group from Denver, Colorado. Nosso Lar and Spirit's book were on our successful reading list. Read for 4 years before actually started studying. Made a big difference. Yes, Don. I would say my advice is, if you want to start, you want a point of start, is the Spirit's book. It's the first. It's the first book.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure most of your questions you are asking to yourself, you will find an answer in that book. And I said, even though I read the book, but even though I start to read something, I learned something different. So yeah, Don, I concur with you, and Spirit's book, it's the first, and I do recommend them. Let me see here. Daniela Paixão. I started to hear about the Spiritism when I was 15. By the time I studied in the nuns school. Wow. When I turned 18, I left Catholicism and started to go to Spiritist Center. However, only when I was 29, I started to study, and then I didn't stop. She's in São Paulo. She used to work every Tuesday and study every Thursday and Friday. Well, Danny, it's a call. I think we have a lot of work to do. And we just need to start. He's giving the first step. I want to take in that book from Paul and Stephen, I think is the moment when, if you want to start, you need to say, what do you want me to do? That's what Saul of Tarso said to Jesus when he saw him at the gate of Damascus. And he said, what do you want me to do? So that's the question we need to ask ourselves. What I need to do. If you are good, if you feel good in just reading and going to Spirit Centers, okay. If you think you should go to a healing group, go. If you think you need to go to give a speech, go. It's the important thing is you need to be feeling comfortable. I think that's the most important thing. You need to feel comfortable. The Spiritism has no dogmas, there is no impositions. So you need to practice your reason of faith. This is part of the principles of Spiritism, reason of faith. If you have question, seek for the answer. And in order to to find this answer, you need to study.
And maybe even some people, they don't really have to look for their questions, for their answers in spiritism, because some people, they really feel comfortable going to study different things, to go to a different places. So as Stephen said, you have to feel comfortable yourself in whatever you are doing.
Yeah.
But then there is a line where you can know if you are doing correct or wrong. Let's say if you are not doing harm to anyone, doesn't matter what you believe, what you read, that's okay. It's up to you, whatever you believe. But of course, we are talking about spiritism here. So there is no way of learning spiritism if you don't really seek for yourself. That's why Jesus said, knock and the door shall be open. Search and you shall find. But the search has to come from us. Some people, they're going to feel a bit more comfortable to go into Astral City. Some people, they're going to feel comfortable to go to a romance. Some people, they are more technical, they want to go to the Spiritist book. So there is no really like a right way to go. Depends on the moment that you are living your life. Maybe you are more romance book, doesn't matter. But the ways, what Spiritism brings to us, it's like a road with a lot of different directions. You can go in direction you want, as long as you are not doing anything bad to anyone, and you are really kind of listening to yourself, because sometimes you have to listen to ourselves, and say, okay, what's the purpose of my life here? Some people, they're gonna find work in the Spirit Center. Some people, they're gonna find helping elderly people. Some people, they're gonna go to Brazil and give soup to the poor. Doesn't matter. Each one of us, we're gonna find our own way. People like me who likes to talk, gonna go give speech. Some people, who likes to study more, they're gonna be working the study groups. Doesn't matter. Find your own way. But Spiritism has a lot of ways to bring to the same thing, to the same point, which is to improve ourselves, to become better people. At least I think, this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I see Spiritism as a guidance. No, it's help us. Spiritism doesn't. How to put this? You're not gonna show us how to be happy. Like this, you need to do that, and in order to be happy or to be less unhappy.
Don't give it's not a recipe, no. Like
it's not a recipe. It's like being a parent. It's like being a children. It's like being human being. We don't have a recipe how to act for each event that happens in your daily life. But Spiritism will be there with the lessons, especially in the Kardec's book. If you have the gospel according to Spiritism at home, read. Doesn't matter which part. I recommend you to start from the beginning, from the introduction. The introduction, it's gonna bring so many lights on your doubts. Only the introduction. And then you can start going through the book. And then you see that I don't need to change. I need to improve myself. If I just change that mindset that I have, that I need to change my life, and Spiritism is in there to do that or to help me, maybe you are seeing in a different way. Not say that you are seeing the wrong way or in the right way, but maybe in a different way. But as I can see, Spiritism help us to improve ourselves. We will not change from 0 to 108 degrees like that. We're gonna go by 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 15, and then you're gonna go back to 10.
Something, yeah.
We're gonna go back to 10. But we always are seeking to find what the purpose of the life. Maybe we don't need to know what our purpose. Just doing good, that's the purpose. No, many people, I need to know. We have some cases, not only in Ireland, but in another place that, I want to go to the healing because the healing is the best part of the Spirit Center. And go to and then it's there in the speech, but the thoughts are all over the place and not there. And here in Ireland, we do in a way that I really appreciate, because we do the healing before the speech. We kind of prepare your soul, your mind, bring you peace to receive the speech. So the healing, if I can put this in numbers, it's 50% of the healing that you are looking for. The rest you're gonna find in the speech. But as I said to all the volunteers in the healing, the healing itself starts in the reception with a smile. Yeah. If we start smiling to everyone that's getting into our house there, and then we're gonna prepare this person for to receive better the healing, and then we're gonna prepare much more better this person to receive the talk.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is no such important department. No, there is no. Everything is work as a gear. No, everything is connected. But Rodrigo, our friend Neide, she said she started with Romance of Zibia as well until moved to Chico Xavier and Kardec. Yeah, Neide. And look at this. This come across what you said, Rodrigo. That I was saying, interesting thing. Before I came to Ireland, I looked for the center here, and I sent a message to be sure that the center was working. I arrived. She arrived in Ireland in 12 of May 2018. It was a Saturday, 1 week after she went to SSC. And Vanderlei was the first to give a welcome to her, then Neide.
You see?
See? And Nate and Daniela is a work for us. No, how can I say? Everything started with the front people.
Exactly. There's the front workers, though, like the situation that we are living now. The front line works, they are doing a great job. They are doing a wonderful job. Even though when you are not feeling well to be there, because here in Ireland we just give like a pass one password, and then we start calling people by that number to go to the room, to the healing room. Even though when you are just given, but you're not feeling well, you're not feeling great at that day, because we are spirits, but we are not well every day. I would say in 7 days we try our best to be well in 4.
I'm trying to best be well in 1.
Yeah, we try. Yeah. But the person who is in there, not only the person who is giving the numbers to be called, but when we finish as well, we having our coffee break, and we can see people there really smiling, making new friends, or just if the people, the one person is there for one day, doesn't matter if it's there for 1 day only. Doesn't matter. Maybe because of the job they cannot come in out Tuesdays because of the job. They cannot come on Sundays. That's life. We need money to live in this world. There is no way. So, but when this person is free, we see that this person is back there, even though after 4 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, whatever, they are there. This makes us happy. This makes us that see that the people, that person is trying to do something for her, for her or for him. Yeah. And the front and the guys in the front is doing a great job. And I hope when we're back, they keep up the good job.
Yeah. And see, Vanderlei, this is a promise here. Look this. As soon as the pandemic moment goes over, I'll be there to meet you guys again. I miss you all, my friends.
Rodolfo.
Rodolfo, be careful
Better
with
off he
these
start
words.
practicing his English because he's gonna give a speech on his
Yeah, it's better. Well, Rodolfo, he does a very good job in Portugal. We said at the beginning here, especially he did a great job with the suicides as well, like prevention of suicide. So, Rodolfo, thumbs up for you, my friend. Thank you very much for your hard work in Portugal. But he was here in Ireland as well. So before he went to Portugal. And Samantha saying, it's so powerful when you understand that you need to improve and not to change. This is a game changer. Well, I would say when you understand, you will change, but you will change because you want, not because you're obliged to change. I think that's the game changer, because you change without knowing you are changing, and you change because you want to change. It's different, you know.
Yeah, it's different, but at the same time, as Rodrigo said, maybe we're not really gonna change, because maybe what Spiritist is gonna bring to us is like this. Okay, let's say Rodolfo, he's someone that who likes to talk, but let's say he talks too much. So instead of saying to him, you cannot talk, let's take that he likes to talk and he talks too much, and let's put him, let's find a use for him for this talking too much. So with Spiritism, you learn how to, what's the word, how to control maybe certain things that you have, that if you don't really measure properly can be quite bad, can be quite harmful. But if you measure properly, it can be quite helpful. Like Divaldo Franco, for example, and Chico Xavier. Chico Xavier could never do what Divaldo Franco does with his speeches, because Divaldo has that thing. But Chico Xavier is so sweet, you know, that he didn't have to give the speeches that Divaldo gave. But what is nice about Spiritism and the teachings of Jesus, that it finds the strength, the good strength that you have. Okay, you are good at doing that. If you have this downside here, instead of taking it, let's try to lapdate. Of course, I'm talking about certain things. I'm not talking about really bad things. But Spiritism brings us this aspect that you can lapdate, you can improve, you can make something which is bad, not bad, but something that maybe you don't have to control yet, to become something quite valuable. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I want to say that we need to understand that we need to be open. And this awakening happening is not because of Spiritism. You may have this awakening in Catholicism, in Buddhism, in any other religion, Protestant, any other religion. Because let's go back to the origin. Now I use the words from Professor Severino Celestino. Spiritism is kind of this bringing back the pure Christianism. Because Jesus, what's the religion of Jesus? He was not Catholic, he was not Spiritist, he was not Buddhist. He has no religion. He just loved. And he used to practice and do what he used to say. That's different thing, because we can see everywhere, even though in Spiritism, people giving wonderful speeches, beautiful speech, but the way they treat their family, the way they treat the neighbor, it's against what that person said, like perhaps 1 minute, 2 minutes ago. We need to practice, we need to put our hands on. And we are seeing many movements of this. Since this pandemic breakout started, we had a lot of movements of solidarity around the world. And at the same time, we had movements of selfishness as well. So we had these two, and now we needed to choose what we wanted for ourselves. What's the right decision to do? We need to weigh these values and decide what we have. Perhaps I am not ready, but you two are ready, so you have better understand than me. But together we can move on. What we want for ourselves? What's the
Yeah, I think we have different, as Vanderlei said before, we have many ways to reach the same understanding, no? So sometimes I can understand spiritism only by the philosophy by the philosophical wing, or just by the religion, or just about the science, but doesn't matter. We are just seeing the same thing in a different way. And as Stephen says as well, doesn't matter if you are Catholic or if you are Buddhist. What matters is your intention. What matters is what you are doing. If you are doing good towards to the others and to yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the message of Jesus is love one another. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Short as that. Not simple as that. Short, but not simple.
So John De Rosa is saying practice and discipline.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember 3 things. The Emmanuel, who was the spiritual guide of Chico Xavier, said to him, you need 3 things: discipline, discipline, and discipline. And we need to discipline ourselves.
Yeah, Steve, because that's when we talk about discipline, we have to understand when you talk about religion, people they expect that we all gonna have a Jesus coming to us like Paul had in Damascus and appear to him. And so we all want this call in life, but this call to us comes a different way. Like maybe it's gonna come in a situation that I'm facing at work, where I'm having a difficult person to work with, and maybe that call, that difficult challenge which I'm having with that person, maybe is a call for me to become more, a bit more patience to that person, to learn how to not to forgive 100%, because maybe we are not in that yet, but to learn how to accept that person. So that call comes in a different way to us. But once you think about discipline, we cannot forget that I cannot wait to have the inspiration to act. You have to act like if you want to go to the gym and build your muscles with discipline. Okay, I want to become a better person. Emmanuel explains to us that the discipline of educate yourself as a spirit, it's so important as educate your knowledge, reading books. We have to try every day. Okay, today I cannot forgive, I don't know, Stephen, whatever, but I'm going to try to, once I come to the Spirit Center, I'm going to say, hello, Stephen, how are you doing? Things like this. As Breno says to us, I hope he's there watching us, fake it until you make it. So sometimes you have to have the discipline to try to let things go, I guess,
Yeah, at least at that moment, for 1 hour, 2 hours, you are trying to change yourself.
Yep.
No?
Yeah.
Well, as I said, as Dan assists our dear friend from America as well, he wants to share with us one thing, that if you are not capable to forgive someone right now, just visualize yourself forgiving or hugging or talking to that person in the future. Visualize that you are gonna talk to them. It's gonna helps you, and then you see little by little That visualization gonna help you to forgive, and you can use for many other things, not just for forgive.
Yeah.
It was a very good, that what Dan said that time was very great and still great, and we can use that tool for any other problem or any other things on your life.
And I would say it's important to forgive yourself as well. Do not put you in a self-pity position. Like, again, let's use Paul Stephen book. When Saul said to Jesus, "What do you want me to do?" He didn't say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I made all that mistakes," and he was not putting himself in a self-pity position. He said, "Okay, what I done, what I did. But now, what I need to do now to move forward."
Yeah.
Okay,
Peter
and
did.
you're gonna
Sorry.
fix everything. It's gonna be fixed, but with time.
Yeah. Peter did the same. No, when he reneged Jesus 3 times.
Yep.
No, and then he just kept going, and then he have he found the house. I think is the house of way, something like
Out
that.
of the way, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and look the great job he have done, and he died for his belief as well as the others. But look Peter as well. Peter, it is a great inspiration for us. He was human like us. He has no patience sometimes, and he went through, and he learned. He built something that he for the first time, when it was need to prove that he loved his masters, Jesus, our master, and he renegade, said no, no, and no. Few years after, he had this beautiful job that he beautiful house that he created with the others Jesus followers. So we need to keep it going. Doesn't matter what we have done. What we have done in life is history. Is in there. It is in there. We need to learn or to see how we're gonna overcome that. We cannot keep our mind in the past on your mistakes. We also can keep our mind on things that we have done in the right way. So
Yeah.
don't forget, if you have done something wrong, it is done. But you can change your way to see this one and not do it again by doing good. Is option. It's up to you. And Spiritist helps us a lot to change our path sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, our last comment for the night. Someone say, bang on again, guys. One of my best friends is Catholic, and we can talk about God for hours and agree on what we believe almost of the time. Yeah. And Samantha, I would say you agree because the gospel according to Spiritism, Kardec wrote, he said it is in the introductory page, he took the moral of Jesus.
Yeah.
And moral is moral anywhere.
True.
If you are in Ireland, if you are in the United States, if you're in Brazil, if you are in Portugal, if you are in China, moral is moral. And that's why we agree. And the first thing is we don't have our prejudice. We put the prejudice aside and let's have a conversation. There are, I don't know how many religions, and all of them is beautiful. And all of them leads everyone to the same person. No. So
Oh yeah, I mean, all religions they want us to, as Kardec said, I think it was in Obras Postmate Works, Obras Póstumas, that the religion, if a religion does not make a human being better, that religion is missing that purpose. So all religions, doesn't matter where it comes from, it the reason to be there is to make ourselves better. But
Yeah.
of course, certain religions, they're going to see God or understand God in a different way. As Kardec explains to us, I think in the Gospel also, or Spirit's book, I don't remember. How come can you perceive God if you were born in the desert or an Indian who was born, let's say, in a jungle? They all perceive in a different way. But they understand that there is this bigger energy, which just love and try to support us. So the way that you see and perceive God, that's not the most important thing. If you are doing good, if you are trying to become a better person, you are in the correct direction. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys, our time up. We need
Yeah.
to finish, wrap up here. So, Rodrigo, what's your last words?
Thank you, everyone. I know that it's a lovely day outside.
Yeah.
Not not very common in Ireland, no, but
Yeah.
we are here. Thank you very much. Really, thank you for the Kardec Radio to have us here as well. Now, thank you very much for our friends in America as well for watching us. And yeah, see you soon, hopefully.
Vanderlei?
As Rodrigo said, thanks for the guys in America, and thanks for everyone who are been supporting us for so many years in Ireland. There will be no Spiritist movement without you guys, so we really appreciate your support. And thank you for the opportunity to be here again. That's it.
Okay, they gave a name to us. John De Rosa gave a name. The Three Spiriteers. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Well, and for me, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thanks so much for your patience listening us. We want to try this informal conversation, not formal. Nobody here to teach anybody because we are not in position to teach anything to you. We are in a position to discuss, and I will learn, we will learn, and you will learn together. So that's the purpose here. Okay, and always following what our brothers, superior spirits brothers, are saying to us. Okay, and we will be back next Tuesday at 2:15 Eastern. No, in Kardec Radio is 2:15 Eastern time, 7:15 p.m. Irish time next Tuesday with a special guest. And then we prepare a kind of new way to talk with you. And please, since this is our first interaction here, leave your comment, say what we need to improve, what we need to work on, what we need to do. But please, it's more than welcome your appreciation. And yeah, Vanderlei, could you do a final prayer for us?
Yep.
Before the final prayer, can I just say something before we finish here today? Guys, we here in Ireland, we didn't stop the healing sessions. The services still keep going. But now it's not on Sundays morning as used to be. Now it's Tuesdays, 8:30, after our lights that we have every Tuesday. So if you want to receive the healing, I just invite you guys, stay at home at 8:30, read a short passage of the gospel according to the Spiritist, a short one, and imagine yourself there in your healing room, and then we all of us will be praying for you as well, and our spiritual friend from our spiritual center, they're going to be there with you as well, helping you at this moment. Okay?
Yeah. Well, and it's 8:30 p.m. Irish time and
Irish time,
3:30 Eastern time. So Don, it's another prayer for you because Don was saying they do they have a WhatsApp prayer, so that is another prayer for as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Vanderlei. It's you, my friend.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask whoever feels comfortable to close their eyes. If they don't feel comfortable, that's fine. First, I'd like to thank God for the lives we have, for the opportunity to be here tonight among friends. Let's be thankful to have all the mentors who have been supporting and guiding us for over 10 years in Ireland. But let's be thankful also for all the workers, all the volunteers who have passed in the Spirit Center for all this time, because this work wouldn't be possible without them. Their help for us is crucial. We would like also to ask guidance and support for the good spirits to help us not to be only spiritists in the Spirit Center, in the lives we do, but in our daily lives, to ask strength to dominate our bad tendencies. And whenever that bad thought comes to us, let's try to put a good thought. Let's try to remember someone that we love, or let's try to remember Jesus. And let's ask Jesus to support and guide all the ones who are having troubles because of the quarantine at the moment, all those who are sick because of the COVID-19. Let's ask God to support all the workers in the hospitals, the policemen, all the ones who are involved in this huge work. But let's also ask and be thankful for the guidance of the spirits who are behind these angels that we don't see, that are supporting Earth in this rough time, in these difficult times. And let's not forget that this boat called Earth has a captain named Jesus, who is going to be supporting us to pass to the wind and to the storms of life. Thank God, and so be it. Whoop.
Okay, thank you. So, see you guys next Tuesdays, and for the SSI workers, Sunday we do have our speech. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice evening. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.